Dennis Jones, and be moderating this session with our Florida A&M senior athletes, champions of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Congratulations to the Raptors, and we're joined by quarterback Jeremy Musa, linebacker Isaiah Major, and defensive lineman Stanley Ventura. Once again, if you guys would state your names and your affiliation for asking the question. So, first question, have that.
Good morning, Mr. Director, toward Jeremy, and anyone, if you want to weigh in, you can. Sam Crenshaw, 92.9 The Game, and CW69 Atlanta. 2014, last time Florida to play a game here. Talk about the big, just the magnitude of getting a chance to come to play in Atlanta. And in the bowl game, you guys went to playoffs several years ago. Talk about the difference that you see this week and this being on this particular platform.
Yeah, I think the city of Atlanta has been great to us since we arrived on Wednesday. The Celebration Bowl has done a great job of putting on a lot of events. It's been a lot of fun to hang out with my teammates and just get to go experience all the things that the city has to offer. Got to see the World of Coke, the College Football Hall of Fame. That's a lot of things that our guys haven't seen before. And then just getting the ability to, hang out in the hotel. Those are gonna be the things that I miss, when my collegiate days are up. Just getting the ability to hang out with everyone. So it's been great to us. We're gonna get to play in a great venue. I can't wait to get on the field in a little bit and get to see what it looks like. But we're all very excited.
Stanley or Isaiah, do you guys want to respond as well? Fine. All right. Next question.
Hey guys, good morning. Luke Williams from the Black College Sports page. This is for all you guys. Talk about the journey to get here. I know the last couple of years we fell short of Jackson State, but being able to get here this time, just talk about the journey to get here.
Start with Stanley and then we'll go down.
I mean, it was a pretty long journey at the end of the day, but we already knew the goals that we had set, and which was the Cricket Celebration Bowl. Throughout the whole process, we wanted to take it one game at a time, every opponent. So, yeah.
Yeah, just to piggyback off of that, we knew what our goals were coming into the season. And like you said, you got to take it one day at a time, one game at a time, focus on the current opponent at hand. It's something to be stated, to say that you want to achieve a goal and then go out and do it every single day. So that's what we try to focus on. And, we did a great job because you hear all too many times of a team slipping up against an opponent that they shouldn't have. And I credit our guys, credit our coaching staff for being able to stay locked in.
Just to reiterate off of what they said, our journey's been a marathon, in my opinion. It had its high tides and its low tides. We got it done.
Next question.
William Anderson, iHeart Media. This question, I got two questions. One for Jeremy and one for Isaiah. Isaiah, with the accolades that the defense has garnered this season, yourself in particular, how important is it that the defense have a dominant performance?
First of all, I would just like to say I'm thankful for even being considered for those accolades. But as you stated, I'm no better than my defensive line, my DB. So it's a complete group effort. But I mean, it's a mind frame we take in every day, every game. We must go out and compete, not just a celebration bowl, not just a flag championship. So that's just happening.
Okay. Two questions. One was no.
Lawrence with ESPN landscape. All of you guys come from various backgrounds, from Vanderbilt, from JUCO, from Lane. Just talk about what it would mean for you guys individually to come into this historic program already and and take it to another step to where it's never been and appearing in the first Celebration Bowl, but also being able to potentially win.
Start with Stanley and Jeremy and Isaiah.
I mean, coming from Lane has been a pretty long journey because when I first got here, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I spoke to Coach Willie Simmons. He gave me an opportunity. So I took advantage of that opportunity and I established myself within the team.
Jeremy.
Can you repeat the question real quick?
What would it mean for you to come from coming in your various backgrounds to where you are now? From coming into your background to where you are now, what would it mean for you to be able to come to FAMU and take this school to a place where it's never been in level of success?
Yeah, it would mean a lot. Like I said, our team goals were to be right where we are right now today, and we have one more to go finish out tomorrow. But personally, I think it would feel great, to set out a goal and accomplish it. That's what most people are looking towards today, and to give the fan base a national championship, something that they haven't had in a long time, and be able to do it, at the first Celebration Bowl for Florida A&M. What more could you ask for? So it's a great opportunity for us as individuals, great opportunity for us as a team, a great opportunity for us as a school, because I've talked to our local reporter G about this a couple times, but I told him we're going to be a team of first, we're going to be a team of history, and we've done that along the way, and we got one more thing to do.
For me personally, coming from Independence, D2 previously before that, it's a blessing. I've never been to an NBA Classic game in Miami, Orlando, so just even be up here, man, I'm beyond grateful. After tomorrow, I'll be the happiest man on the planet.
Next question.
Ron Wilson, HBCU Game Day. Guys, speaking of the Rattler tradition, a lot of schools will be happy with a winning season. A lot of schools will be happy with finishing the season beating their rival. Even more schools will be happy with a SWAC championship. But at Florida A&M, if you don't finish the job tomorrow, it's going to seem like a lot is lost. Do y'all understand that as part of your assignment?
I would say yes. Rattler Nation does not hold back at all. So, I mean, from Twitter to personal engagements on the street, they let you know that they're rooting for us and how much it means to not only us as a team, but to our fans, just the Rattler Nation and all that. The win is a lot.
Yeah, no, I think we understand the weight that's on our shoulders, and not in a bad way. There's a lot of people that are behind us, cheering for us, giving us their support. And, we love that. We appreciate that because it makes us want to do our job even more. But Coach Simmons has done a great job of installing that in our team. But I think individually, just the type of people that we have on this team, we understand that, we're not satisfied. That's something, I try to hit home with our team all the time. We've done what we're supposed to do, but there's still a lot of things that we could have done better. And we're in constant pursuit of, chasing excellence like Coach Simmons says. So we can't be satisfied with what we've done so far. We still got goals to achieve more.
Good morning, gentlemen. Stephen Gaither from HBCU Game Day. This is particularly for Isaiah and Stanley. The MEAC has won this game 6 out of 7 years, and every year it seems like the MEAC is a little bit more physical. You guys feel like the SWAC is preparing you guys to go to this level of physicality? I know your coaches coach in both leagues, but are you looking forward to that challenge?
And you can see it throughout the whole season. When we took on Jackson State, when we took on USF, it was all the same. Held up on the run game and then allowed them to try to go out there and make pass. So at the end of the day, we just trying to stop the run and force them to pass the ball. Just to reiterate off what Stan said, from the beginning of the season, from fall camp, we've tried to establish that we're one of the most physical teams throughout college football. We take no plays off, no days off. So, they say they're tough, they're going to have to show it.
2 more questions. Who's next?
Good morning, guys. My name is Dwayne Nash from the Yard, HBCU Sports Bureau Sports. Stanley, you're from Florida, so this isn't necessarily for you. More so directed towards Jeremy and Isaiah. Being from where you're from, Isaiah from Oklahoma, Jeremy from California, IE, right? Thought so. All right, what was it about Florida A&M that drew you guys to come out there to Tallahassee? And what is it that needs to be done to have more guys from west of Mississippi to come to HBC?
Yeah, I mean, what personally drew me to FAMU was opportunity. You know, at this point, I hadn't got much opportunity to play, and I just wanted that opportunity. And Coach Simmons awarded me that. You know, he was the first person to get in contact with me when I entered the transfer portal. We just built a great relationship along with Coach KJ Black, who was the quarterback coach at the time. He's now with the LA Rams, but you know, that's all I wanted, was just opportunity to compete, opportunity to live out my dreams and be a Division I starting quarterback. And that's what led me to FAMU. And I think the second part of your question, you know, I kind of give them some slack all the time, telling them to recruit some more California kids, but you know, they think we're soft, all that stuff. But you know, I was a little different because I was already on this side of the country in Tennessee. You know, we have another California kid, Kobe Gross, but you know, he's at Florida State previously, so I think, you know, there's a time and a place. You know, I don't think that it's probably best for us, you know, to send coaches all the way out to California all the time. You know, might be not the best use of time and money, but at the end of the day, I think we've got a lot of great football players out there, and you know, we like to talk all the time about who's the best state in football. And I just let them have their fun, but you know, we could play pretty good ball out there too.
For me, I went to kind of a black high school, if that makes sense. But I went to Millwood High School out of Oklahoma City, and we actually play a classic game, the second game of the season every year. So actually getting into the heritage and culture that FAM has, it's like, okay, I've seen this before, it's just on a bigger platform. And Marquise Bell was big for him playing at Coffeyville Community College, which is in the same conference and down the street from Independence. Just seeing what he was able to do, he inspired me. It was like, you have a chance to.
Congratulations, it's Bill Roden from ESPN Landscape. That's for Stanley, Jeremy, and Isaiah. For the past couple of years in the SWAC, from the outside, SWAC has gotten to Jackson State. They've gotten all the heat, all the light, all the kind of everything. And I was wondering, what was your mindset going into this season, knowing that that kind of light is sort of left and things more or less were kind of wide open? Just wondering how you guys felt going into this season after 2 years of hearing everything about Jackson State. It seemed like the veil had been lifted and the road had sort of been open for everybody.
Well, I mean, we kind of have a mantra for this season, and it's part time. So, the team we had, as far as skill wise, just all around the board. On paper, we look really well. So, just knowing that that was the case and that the door was open, it's our time to go take everything else in front of us.
Yeah, I think you know, at the end of the day, whoever our opponent was, whoever was there, it wasn't going to change our mindset and our approach to the season. And you know, 2 years ago they got them by 1 point. Last year we didn't play very well at all, and this year, you know, we handled our business. But you know, like Isaiah said, we know what type of team we had. We knew the players that we had on this team. We knew the coaches that we had on this team and what our capabilities were. So we're not really worried about, you know, who we have to play. We're just worried about taking care of our job, and the outcome will be what we want.
Okay, last move. Now the last move.
Thank you. Slip one in on this, Michelle. Thank you. Luke Williams again from the Black College Sports page. When you guys look back on the season, was there any particular game that kind of defined that brought you guys together? Any particular games from the season that, and then I'm going to follow up with this, what concerns you about Howard?
I mean, we had some pretty good games throughout the season.
But you know, that first game in Jackson State is always the one that determines who we are as a team and what we can get accomplished throughout the season. So that Jackson State game really set the tone.
But like Isaiah said last night, I probably FBS team, you know, we stood toe to toe with them. But we probably, if we don't turn the ball over 5 times, you know, it might be a different outcome. You know, I thought it was a slugfest, very physical game. And, you know, we stood right there with them and we're just trading punches the whole game. So, you know, even in a loss, like you said, you know, we had belief the whole time. We never wavered. And, you know, I thought both sides of the ball show what they're capable of that day. Matthews on the sideline told me that night, he's like, "You're never going to lose again in a Florida A&M jersey." So we're going to keep that trend going.
Just to reiterate, I did say that last night, but South Florida was, yeah, that game, just to see the look in each other's eyes, to see that we put everything on the line, and you look up, there's 6 minutes left, 4th and 5, and we down a touchdown in Tampa, Florida. So, I mean, it definitely showed what our team is capable of. And as far as Howard, I mean, I would say that they're kind of a complete team in some form or fashion. Me being a defensive player, they have some guys that play Hunt, a running back, James, quarterback can play, Hawthorne, who's a all-conference receiver for them. So, I mean, they definitely have some key pieces on their team that are very crucial to the game, and they knocked off the NCS team of John Central, who was actually rolling at the time. So we know what they hold over there, and we respect it.
Yeah, and then I could just add to that defensively, you know, I think they're going to play physical. You know, it's a big game. I don't think anyone's going to question that. You know, they're going to challenge us. They're going to challenge us. You know, they're not going to give us anything easy, and you know, we're up for the challenge. They're well coached team. They're going to play hard. They got some great athletes as well, so it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I want to thank Jeremy, Isaiah, Stanley. Congratulations once again on the SWAC championship, and applaud you guys for how well you represented the school and your conference this week. All right,
Thank you.
Thank you. I want to introduce the head coach of the SWAC champion Florida Raptors, Willie Simmons. I ask Coach to give an opening statement before we start the question. Coach.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you guys for being here this morning. Continues what's been a phenomenal week for us as a program. You know, again, we're so excited for the opportunity to represent the SWAC in the Cricket Celebration Bowl. Once we won the SWAC championship, you know, almost 2 weeks ago, and I was extended the invitation from Don Grant. We've been finding up last couple of days, and that'll continue throughout the weekend. But again, just a great opportunity for our football team to continue to do what they've done all year. And that's play ball, play as a team, represent Florida in a first-class manner, and just continue this dream season that we've been on. Our goal was pretty high this season when we came in. We heard from the players. We knew we were a talented team. We knew we could do some great things here and have a chance to make history. Winning our first Celebration Bowl and winning our first, again, championship as members of the SWAC. And members of the MEAC. So it's a great game against a great quality opponent. Howard's a very good football team. They've done what they needed to do to get here, and I have the utmost respect for Coach Scott and the job that he's done there at Howard. They have quality players, they have a quality coaching staff, and again, it's a great showcase of not only two great football football programs, but two phenomenal academic institutions, and a chance to showcase everything that makes HBCUs and HBCU culture special. So we're excited about the opportunity, and I look forward to answering any questions this morning.
Questions for Coach Simmons?
Good morning, Coach. Luke Williams from the Black College Sports page. Congratulations on what you guys have accomplished up to this point. When you look back on it, of getting here, and your guys mentioned that the players mentioned about getting by Jackson State. I think the defensive player said that was a key game for him. What was it from your standpoint in terms of what it took from your guys to get over the hump and get here?
Well, for us, this journey for us started way back in January. Really started back last November. Once we were, in our opinion, snubbed from the FCS playoffs. And I've kind of challenged the team every year to control our own destiny and never put ourselves in a position where we're, depending on someone else to assist us in accomplishing our goals. And so we started the season, we knew right out the gate for 30 in a row, Rose Blossom Classic was the first game. And the last 2 years, the winner of that game went on to win the conference and go undefeated. So, we knew Jackson State was a good football team. Even though Coach Prime had left, T.C. Taylor was on that staff. He assembled a really good football team. And we genuinely felt that whoever came out of that game again would have the leg up in the conference race. And so our guys, just prepared to go and play a really good game. And they did that, right out the gate, first opening play of the game, 96-yard kickoff for a touchdown. And it really set the tone for what that game would be and really what this season would be. And again, we knew we were talented. We knew that we had a chance to be really good. But oftentimes it takes the application of it first to really let it come to fruition. And it's like once Marcus took that opening kickoff back, it's almost like the skies opened up for us. And we really knew at that time, okay, this is a different field than years past. So again, this team has persevered through a lot this season. I'm really proud of how they handled all the adversities that have come their way. They've been attacked personally, as a team, as an institution, and they've just continued to just keep pressing on, and that's something that I'm proud of as a head coach. We talk about overcoming adversity all the time. So I don't think there's a game per se. I know the guys talk about different games, but for us, it really was just a realization that we are really the team of destiny this year, and we can put all these pieces together and we can have something pretty special.
Coach Simmons, Vaughn Wilson, Capital Outlook, HBCU Game Day. Coach, some years ago, before you ever came to FAMU, we actually had a conversation, long layover in the airport, and you had a dream of coming to FAMU and helping FAMU win championships. Have you thought about your journey from that day that we spoke to now that you're actually, have on the eve of the opportunity to fulfill that destiny?
Well, I think about where we've come from often. When I took the FAM job back in 2018, we knew we had some challenges ahead of us. The program performance in tough times, 6 years of losing seasons, 1-win season mixing there, a 7-year losing streak to our in-state rival, and just morale was really low. I'm married to a 2-time graduate. Although we were having relatively good success in those places, from here during time at Prairie as the head coach, from my time at Alcorn State as offensive coordinator, the Saturday afternoons, it was kind of a 75% celebration. We were happy that we won, but she was down that FAMU had lost. And so just the opportunity to go home and turn that was something that we both were really, really passionate about. And so when we got there in 18, we just rolled our sleeves up and went to work, and just built the program from, I don't want to say the ground up, because the history, the tradition, and all those things were already there. But you felt the low morale when we walked into the building. Players didn't really have an appreciation for the university. I still remember our very first team meeting. And the last thing I asked the team when we broke was if anyone could get up and sing the school alma mater, and nobody could. And so I knew right then, I said, yeah, these guys don't really have pride in Florida A&M. And I truly believe to be a great team, you have to have pride in the place that you call home, so that you take care of your locker room, take care of the building, you wear your shirts and your hats and all those things with pride. You see Musa now, he ain't interviewing without that FAMU hat on, and that's just the pride that he has in FAMU. And that's something that we really, really look forward to building. So all the things we've accomplished, I'm most proud of that these guys genuinely love Florida A&M University. When they leave, Marquise Bell, I mean, this guy's a second league tackle for the Dallas Cowboys, and twice this year, after big Monday night games, by Wednesday he's in Tallahassee. I mean, Isaiah Land, they played over in Germany this year. The moment he got back in the States, he directed a flight to Tallahassee. Those guys come back to FAMU. David Smith was FaceTiming after the SWAC championship game, FaceTiming me and the players. I mean, they love FAMU, they love this program, and that's what I remember the most. Just building a love for this place that transcends anything that we've ever imagined.
Hi, Coach. Takira George with ESPN's Landscape. What would winning the celebration bowl mean for you?
We were champions. We were national champions, undisputed. And that's been something that we've aspired to since we got here. Obviously 2019 is still a year that it's a little bit of a sore spot for me personally, because we did what we needed to do on the football field to be here. But because of a self-imposed ban, because of things that happened before we got there, we weren't able to come and represent at that time the MEAC in the Creek Celebration Bowl. So there were some media outlets that still named us national champs. And of course, like anything else, there was a lot of controversy around that decision. So, win this year with silence on the critics. There won't be any question. We've been number 2 most of the year, behind North Carolina Central. Once they fell to Howard, we moved up to number 1. So we've been the number 1 team the last half of the season. We ranked number 5 in FCS polls. So winning this game would quiet any critics as to whether we're the true HBCU national champions. And that's really what I'm concerned about. For me personally, I don't think about what it would do for me personally. It's about this program. It's about these young men. It's about the 3 guys who just left the stage in their last game in orange and green, walking off as champions. And that's what we're committed to doing.
Next question.
Coach, Rick Garney from NBC here in town in Atlanta. You have a sense that your players have an understanding of what the atmosphere might be like tomorrow, playing in the stadium in a great college football city, national TV, and the vice president coming to the game, even though I know she's an alum of the other school. But just the atmosphere tomorrow, do you get a sense of what that might be like, and maybe what your players are looking forward to in this game?
Yeah, I think we've had the fortune this year of playing in 3 NFL type stadiums. We opened the season down in Miami Gardens at Hard Rock Stadium against Jackson State, and that's a game that we played the last 3 years. The next week we went down to Tampa to Raymond James Stadium. So the first 2 games of the season were in NFL venues. Then obviously the last regular season game, the Florida Classic, is always in Campbell World Stadium, which is a major venue. So our guys won't be, I don't think they'll be shell shocked when they walk out there and see, 50,000+ fans in the stadium. The good thing is most of them will be wearing orange and green anyway, so that'll really give us a boost. But the maturity of this football team, I think that along with the fact that a large percentage of these guys came from Power 5 and Group of 5 programs, so Jeremy Moose has played the SEC, and so he's played in front of 70,000, 80,000 fans. We have individuals from those places that have been in those larger venues. So I don't think the atmosphere will be something that gets our guys thrown off their kilter. So I'm looking forward to the opportunity. They'll do a walkthrough here in a little bit to kind of get the feel for the dome. It's our first dome, and so that'll be a little bit different. But other than that, I think our guys are excited to start the season in the NFL Stadium and ultimately end the season in one as well.
Stephen Gaither, HBCU game day. Coach Simmons, real quick, just talk to me about you've coached in both leagues. Obviously, the MEAC has kind of dominated this, and it seems like every year the physicality of the MEAC shows up against the SWAC program. How prepared do you feel like your guys are for that? And I have a follow-up after that.
Well, football is a physical game, and so every week we prepare for physical contests. Like these guys said, we stood toe-to-toe with South Florida. I don't think that there's a more physical team on our schedule than the 5 team that's loaded with 5 transfers, and we didn't back down. It went right down to the wire. So we look forward to a physical game. I think that's one thing that having had that unique experience in the MEAC for those years. That's always kind of been the narrative that the MEAC's a physical league, the SWAC's the speed league. Well, we built our team to be both. We really committed ourselves to building ourselves up in the trenches. Our offensive line, our defensive line, that's where it starts for us on both sides of the ball. And so, yes, we know how it wants to run the football. Our defensive line is ready for that challenge. We know who wants to load the box and stop the run. Our offensive line is ready for that challenge. And so we're prepared for a shoulder to shoulder, nose to nose, body blow fight. We're ready to chase them around the ring for 12 rounds, if that's what it takes. Whatever we got to do to win the game, our guys are prepared to do that. And that's how we built this team through recruitment.
And lastly, you've actually had a chance to coach in the FCS playoffs and now here at the Celebration Bowl. Let's talk about the difference for you guys as far as just the experience thus far before you step on the field.
Well, again, I've been a part of bowl as a player and as a coach. And so just the bowl experience is unique in and of itself. The FCS playoffs, it's a playoff format, but it's still like a normal game. You leave on Friday and you stay in the hotel and you play the next day. So you don't get a chance to do professional development. You don't get a chance to network, you don't get a chance to tour the College Football Hall of Fame and the World of Coke and all the great things that the Celebration Bowl has put together for these student athletes. So that's the difference. And I know there's a large contingency of fans that say, HBCU should go to the playoffs and try to go win, like FAMU did in 1978, a 1AA national championship. But this experience is so amazing for these student athletes. The opportunity to be on the national stage. I mean, this game has outdrawn the FCS national championship every year, and will continue to do so. And so, again, I'm a huge proponent of the Celebration Bowl. I'm excited about the opportunity to be here, and hopefully we can come here every year.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Coach Simmons, Maya Ellison, NCAA.com. So, talking to you and knowing that one of the things that you say, especially about playing the game, is the hardest thing is keeping it together and being headstrong mentally for 60 minutes. What are some of the things that you've been teaching, the mantras, the mission statement that defines this season heading into the big day tomorrow?
Well, for us, like you said, it's just about continuing to prepare these guys mentally for what's needed to perform at the highest level, when it's time to do so. And that's not just football, that's life, that's in class, that's out in the community, that's not personal lives. So it's really just creating those habits. Fundamentals is one of the 7 F's that we talk about. And so it's about developing great habits. And when times get hard, when adversity sets in, that's what we all fall back to. We all fall back to our habits. And so throughout the course of the 60-minute football game, there are a lot of ebbs and flows. There are a lot of momentum swings. There are a lot of adverse situations. And so when those moments come, you get a bad call or you get nicked up and bruised, book a big play, you got to fall back on your fundamentals and continue to stay steadfast in your belief that you prepare yourself to be good enough. And that's what we talk to our guys about all the time. And I think that's why you've seen this team perform at the level it has, not only on the football field, but in the classroom as well. This group of young men will walk into the game tomorrow, with close to 40 graduates. We got 6 more that are graduating today. they're here, but they're technically graduating today. And that'll add to the 30 plus that we already have on this team. So just their commitment to excellence in the classroom. Our APR is the highest it's been since we've been here. So I think all those things kind of speak to that just prepare yourself mentally to be ready to perform at the highest level whenever you're called upon. And we don't always know in life when we'll be called upon. Guys don't know tomorrow when it's their time to make the play. There'll be a key play to be made tomorrow, and we've worked hard for the last 2 weeks to prepare ourselves to make that key play when it's needed. And I think that as long as the guys continue to take that mindset, they'll continue to have tremendous success, not only on the field, but in life as well.
Take our next question. Yeah.
Congratulations, Coach Simmons. Tony Pearl with the Pearl Reports on 7:30 game, ESPN Charlotte. My question for you is, the MEAC conference, they played their last game November 18th. You guys play your SWAC championship the first weekend in December. Do you have a preference to have the long layoff, or do you like it 2 weeks in between? Do you have a preference, either or?
I have a preference to be here. We're going to play the game yesterday. It meant that we're playing tomorrow. So I don't really, subscribe too much to that theory that gives the conference an advantage because they have a longer layoff period. Again, I tell the team this all the time. If we were going through through something, then I would give you. But everyone plays bowls. Like bowl season is this time of year. So most teams regular season ended the end of November. They didn't play in conference championships, but they got to play a bowl in December and early January. So they've had long layoffs. You have some teams who played a conference championship game the same day we did, who's got to turn around and play a bowl game. Then they got to turn around and play a college football playoff. So we're not unique. We're not special in that aspect that we played a championship game 2 weeks ago and now we're playing a celebration bowl. Ours not unique that they played a month ago and they get to play again tomorrow. Which team prepares the best will be the one that wins. Point blank period. It has nothing to do with the layoff. It has nothing to do with anything other than the preparation that it takes. You can prepare. The NCAA gives us typically 7 days to prepare. Well, we had 14, they had 28. So we got way more time to prepare than we normally would be. So whichever team utilizes that to the best of their advantage will be the one that probably comes out successful tomorrow. So no, I don't have a preference as to which one we do. Again, there are 11 other teams in our conference that would love to be here. And they could care less when they play to get here. We're excited to be here, and I think Howard feels the same way.
Hey, Coach Simmons, Bill Roden, ESPN Landscape. Congratulations. You mentioned a couple of times, Coach Prime, and for the past couple of years, the SWAC particularly has been Coach Prime, and that spotlight. And I was wondering, going into this season, with that kind of thing removed and the path kind of open, what was your mindset going into the season? With that era of what passed, and now the spotlight on whoever it is who won. What was it like then? What's this sort of been like going into the season?
Well, first off, I have a lot of goals I set for my life. One of the goals is that I'll be gone from a place for a year and they'll still be talking about me. We're talking about Coach Prime, he's been gone for a year. So I want to get to that place in life where my name continues to ring and I'm no longer there for good reasons. But no, again, I say that jokingly because Prime and I are friends. We talk all the time. But again, we didn't think anything about the past. We didn't think anything. We knew that we had a really, really good football team that we were building and putting together. And so for us, it was, like I said, we had a motto a couple of years ago, leave no doubt. This year we switched it to our time. We finally say, look, guys, it's our time to show what we're truly made of. So let's prepare every single day to be able to show the world what Florida A&M football is capable of doing. And so again, we worked extremely hard in the recruit process to bring in quality student athletes. We work hard to continue to go and raise money for nutrition and resources and things of that nature that these guys need to be able to perform at the highest level. And we committed ourselves to getting it done every day in the classroom. Again, we had the best semester ever last spring. I mean, we went into the season with no academic eligibility issues, a year removed from having one of the most embarrassing days of our lives. And so all of those things culminated into us being here today. And so again, we just felt that, hey, it's time for FAMU to be where we needed to be. We're thankful for the spotlight has been placed on the SWAC and HBCU football, largely as a result of what Coach Prime was able to do at Jackson. But again, we want to continue that narrative. We wanted to keep going. We don't want to be a one-trick pony where it's tied to one person. This thing is so much bigger than one individual. It's so much bigger than one school, right? I mean, HBCU, we're all in this thing together. So continue to uplift our brand, to continue to uplift our conferences. We all have to put our best foot forward every single day. And that's something that I'm excited about. The Cricket Celebration Bowl is a phenomenal opportunity to do that because it's a week of free advertising, for two of the best institutions in the world. HBCU or PWI. It's a highlight of two phenomenal conferences that have done more for minorities than anybody can imagine. And that has a history that's second to none, So again, we're going to continue this wave that we're on, this momentum that we started a few years ago. And I think tomorrow's game will be the next in the long line of phenomenal events for our conference, for our institutions for years to come.
I think we have 2 questions left. Young. Okay, Luke, young man.
Hey, Coach, when you talk to other coaches and parents in the SWAC as to why the MEAC is such one advantage, and is that at all been a focus? Will you talk about that in terms of motivating your team?
No, I mean, I've never had that conversation with anyone, with any coach. You know, one game doesn't define a conference. I mean, on middle of December, for 6 times out of 7, the team out of the MEAC was better than the team out of the SWAC. That's what happened. Many times in the game, the team from the SWAC came in as the favorite. The last 2 years, that was definitely the case. And they didn't get it done, you know. So you look at, Coach Broadway, who was on it last night. I mean, Coach brought in some of the best teams in the history of HBCUs. And they ran through the MEAC, unscathed through the MEAC in those years. My first 2 years, we were the only team to beat them. And they were able to come in and win the Celebration Bowl. So they were the best team in Black college football. They were supposed to win the Celebration Bowl, right? The last 2 years, obviously, Jackson State was a favorite, and they didn't get it done. So, but it doesn't speak to which conference is stronger. I've been a part of both conferences. And I'm not going to get up here and talk about which is better. They're both phenomenal conferences. Both have phenomenal players, phenomenal coaches, phenomenal institutions, and that's why we do this, right? And so tomorrow's game, it's Dub Swagger, it's Howard versus FAMU. Whichever team is better tomorrow will win. On tomorrow doesn't mean they're better throughout the season. On paper, we're the better team. We got a better record. We got higher rankings. We got the 2 conference players of the year. So on paper, we're the better team. That means nothing tomorrow if we don't go in and play the game that we're capable of playing. So, we have to talk up the narrative because that's what we do. We sell things by talking up the narrative. But no, I don't think that MEAC coach is talking about, man, we beat the SWAC because of X, Y, and Z. Or there's no SWAC coaches. We're not huddling up in all season like, man, we got to figure out a way to beat the MEAC. The commissioner talks about it because it's a great sense of pride for him. And he's going to remind us as often as he can that the trophy needs to come back to the SWAC. And I understand that, but at the end of the day, no, they're both phenomenal conferences, and I've been blessed to be members of both.
Last question, young man over here.
Hey, Coach, Lawrence with ESPN's Landscape. Earlier you talked about, the group this year is mature, and then you talked about having the 40+ graduates on the team. So how important is this? Not only the game, the 60 minutes tomorrow, but the entire experience this week for. Because obviously, you have certain guys, but time goes on and everybody can't stay at FAMU forever. So how important is the entire experience for those guys that are staying within the program for next year, but also in the recruiting process for guys that are coming to potentially replace those who are leaving as well?
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously you got to continue to build the program. And this season that we're having, the one thing about a place like FAMU is that we've set the bar pretty high. And Rattler Nation has no intention of going back, right? So we got to continue to perform at a high level. That means recruiting top caliber student athletes. And so this game is huge. There'll be millions of eyes on this game. Prospective student athletes will be watching. Parents, coaches, they want to see what type of brand, what brand of football FAMU plays. They want to see if they can envision their young man succeeding here. And so when they see Jeremy Musa, when they see Isaiah Major, Kendall Bowler, guys who have NFL draft grades, guys who've been invited to the HBCU Legacy Bowl and other All-Star games, Marcus Riley even. I think it'll be like Isaiah Major said, to see Marquise Bell and the success that he's had, that helps in recruiting. Because unfortunately for us, and I'm sure Coach Howard can share the same sentiment, we spend a lot of our time in the recruitment process dispelling a lot of negative myths and connotations about HBCUs and what type of education you can get here, what type of opportunities are available for you here. And so we have to go into homes and change a lot of perspectives as to what we can do and what we can provide for the student athlete. And so tomorrow's game will be huge in pushing and driving that narrative that you can come to an HBCU and succeed as a student and go on and work in any Fortune 500 company that you can think of, that you can start your own business, that you can make an impact, that you can be a professional athlete, right? We have a ton of guys in the NFL from these conferences. And so I think tomorrow's game is going to be critical to continue to push that narrative and drive it. And this week was amazing just because, again, not just about the guys that are coming in or returning, but for the guys that are leaving. Because when you talk to NFL guys about opportunities in the NFL outside of playing and coaching, that's critical. Because a lot of these guys want to stay around the game, but it won't be playing in the NFL. but they can go be in player development, they can go play in player personnel or operations or all those other fields that the NFL offers. And that's why I think this week was so important to expose these guys to all of these opportunities, because that's what it's all about. It's not just about playing in the NFL, which most of them want to do. It's about being able to continue to be productive and go make a difference with what this experience provides for you.
Once again, thank you, Coach Simmons, for your time. Congratulations once again on the SWAC championship, and applaud you guys for how well you represented your school conference.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach. Just a reminder, the first 15 minutes of